Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be predicting the scores and results of week 21 of the 2018-2019 Premier League season. So it's come to the very end of the festive period fixtures. Absolute pandemonium. It's been a very busy couple of weeks, both football wise and video editing wise and everything. So we're both out tomorrow in work and you're doing different things, and then out tomorrow to celebrate New Year's Eve. So we'll just get this one in this evening. But before we get on to predicting week 21, let's have a quick look back at how well we got on in week 20.
Yet again, I had another disastrous week for some reason. I only had 4 points with no correct results, or perfect results.
Yeah, and I only went one better than you, Nathan. I had 5 correct results, no perfect score. So yeah, you had 4, Nathan, I had 5. But you have to say that there were some shocks in the last game week. You could say Cardiff beating Leicester away from home, Burnley perhaps, and Wolves beating Tottenham at Wembley.
Massive shock that was.
Yes. Looking in the comments section though, the highest score of the week with, I have to say, a magnificent score of 16 points, head and shoulders above anybody else, was Hitcham Morocco. 16 points, absolutely fantastic. Well done to you, Hitcham. Nathan, as you said, you got 4 points, I had 5 points, so you're on a total score now of 135 points. And I'm on 153 points. So you've got a little bit of catching up to do there to get up to my score.
But will it turn around though, like it did last season where I was about 15 in front of you?
Yeah, that's right. It may well do. It may well do. Especially my fantasy football team at the moment is going down the pan.
Oh yeah, mine is as well.
But we haven't got all stats for that because we're doing this directly after the Manchester United match. But all that will come back into the next video for week 22. But without further ado, let's crack on and get stuck in to week 21.
Okay, so starting with the New Year's Day fixtures, we have Everton versus Leicester. Now, Leicester narrowly losing to Cardiff on the weekend. Now, it could have been easily 2-0 if Kadeem Harris would have scored, but they were very lucky. To be honest, the Maddison penalty, in my opinion, it wasn't a penalty. I think he went down way too easily, but... He
went down easily, but I've seen them given time and time again, so...
But anyway, coming up against an Everton team who did lose surprisingly to Brighton last week. I don't think anyone saw that coming, but to be fair to them, Brighton have really good home form. But Everton at home, strong. I think this is going to be a really close game. Claude Puel is going to want Leicester to bounce back, really. I think it's going to be a draw, and I think it's going to be 1-1.
Yeah, I think Everton are going to bounce back from that defeat away against Brighton. Leicester, they had 2 fantastic results recently. I know they lost against Cardiff yesterday. However, yeah, I think the Toffee's going to bounce back in this one, and I'm going for a 2-1 victory. Next up, we've got Arsenal against Fulham. Arsenal getting absolutely destroyed against Liverpool at Anfield. 5-1, of course. I think they're going to bounce back. Fulham had a good victory against Huddersfield, but the class that Arsenal have got in their ranks, it is a London derby, and I can see only one winner, and that's going to be the Gunners, and I'm going for a 3-1 win.
Yeah, I've gone exactly the same as you, believe it or not, this week. I think Arsenal will just bounce back. Fulham, still in 19th. Claudio Ranieri has sort of turned things around, but
yeah, they haven't lost in 4 matches.
That's really good for it. If you remember at the start of the season, that's really good turnaround for Fulham. However, just with the way that Fulham are going, I just can't see them making anything against Arsenal in this match.
Arsenal going to make one amends in front of their own fans for that performance at Liverpool.
And Fulham aren't the best away either, to be honest. So I think maybe 2 Aubameyang goals and a Lacazette goal maybe will finish off Fulham 3-1. Next up we have Cardiff City versus Tottenham for the evening fixture on New Year's Day. Cardiff beating Leicester narrowly 1-0. Of course, like I said earlier, it could have been easily 2-0. Thought we played really well, kept a clean sheet away, which never happens for us. Except it's happened in the last 2 away matches. So.
Yeah, for Palace and Leicester, of course.
Very good. But going up against the Spurs side, who earlier in the season we beat 1-0, could have easily been 1-1 if Junior Hoilett would have absolutely smashed the ball into the net, but that just didn't happen. Of course, Joe Roll's getting sent off in the last.
Yeah, I think Eric Dyer scored the only goal that match, didn't he? So.
Tottenham getting absolutely destroyed 3-1 as well by Wolves over, I believe it was yesterday, but I think it's going to be a close game. Cardiff have the potential to maybe get a point out of it, like in the reverse fixture. Cardiff, of course, were really strong at home as well. However, I just can't see it happening. Pochettino's going to have the team fired up, and I think it's going to be a narrow 1-0 win to Tottenham.
Yeah, well, in the last fixture, I had a Leicester win, and I got that wrong. Of course, Cardiff actually went away and actually won a match. This match against Spurs is going to be very difficult. However, the crowd at Cardiff are going to be behind the Bluebirds, especially they're going to be buoyed after that win against Leicester. The players are going to be feeling 10 foot tall after that late Camarasa goal. Superb goal, by the way. Tottenham, we've got a bit of a diver, I think, in Harry Kane at the moment. So I think the Cardiff crowd are going to get on his back a lot.
Oh, yes.
Tottenham are going to want to come back, and they're going to have their usual zip and everything. But I'm actually going to go for a shock in this one. I'm going for a 2-1 victory to the Bluebirds. Now, normally in these matches, I don't do that sort of thing. I think this is the only time this season where I've actually gone for a Cardiff shock win, really, even against the likes of Arsenal, and I put them down for a loss, etc. But I really believe Cardiff can start the year off on a positive note, and I'm going for a 2-1 victory to the Bluebirds. Next up, we have got Bournemouth against Watford on the 2nd of January. Bournemouth getting beaten by resurgent Manchester United, of course. Watford being held at home against the Magpies, 1-1, of course. In this match, I think it's going to be another stalemate. I think Bournemouth really need to step up to the mark now. They've lost something like 8 of their last 10 matches, something like that. Tell me, Cherry fans, what it is. But I think they're going to get a draw in this match, and I'm going for a 1-1. Interesting.
Yeah, I think Bournemouth are in a bit of a free fall at the moment. Sort of.
Yeah, they're down to 12th position as well.
If we have a look at down to 12th, even though they were about 7th or 6th earlier in the season. But if we look at some of the teams, they have had a really difficult run recently, which I can understand. Playing the likes of Man City, Liverpool, Wolves and Tottenham, all losing to them. And being, 5-0 to Tottenham, which many people saying that's a bit unacceptable, but I don't know. Watford, very strong team. I think this is going to be a really close match, going to stay at 0-0 for most of the game, but I think Watford just going to nick it at the end, and I think it's going to be a 1-0 away win.
Okay.
Next up, we have Chelsea versus Southampton. Chelsea narrowly beating Crystal Palace earlier today, and Southampton, of course, losing to Man City 3-1. But they did get a goal. And
that was to make it 1-1,
and prevented a clean sheet against Man City. Good goal that was as well. Just Man City fell to sleep at that point, but yeah, I think Miroslav Sarri is going to have Chelsea fired up for this game. Hasenhüttl doing a good job down there as well. However, I think Chelsea are going to keep a clean sheet at home at Stamford Bridge, and I think it's going to be a 2-0 Chelsea win. Yeah,
I think Chelsea are going to be way too strong for Southampton. Chelsea need to keep in touch with the top 3 as well. Yeah. So I think it's going to be a straightforward win, and I'm going for 2-0 to Chelsea. Next up, we've got Huddersfield against Burnley. Huddersfield in all sorts of trouble at the bottom of the table, losing 1-0 away to Fulham. And Burnley carving out a fantastic result, 2-0 against the Hammers, of course. So in this match, I'm going to go for a bit of a shock. Huddersfield haven't won in absolutely ages. Burnley are going to be buoyed by that win, but maybe things are going to catch up with them a little bit. Huddersfield are going to want to start the new year in a positive fashion, and I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to the Terriers in this one.
Well, I just can't see that happening, mainly with the way that Huddersfield have been playing recently, to be honest. But saying that, Burnley, awful away.
Yeah.
This is a really tough one to predict because anything can happen. Burnley can turn up on the day, Huddersfield can turn up on the day at home, but I think this is Burnley's game. Sean Dyche, they're gonna have a massive lift after beating a really good West Ham side, and I think it's going to be a narrow 1-0 away win to Burnley. Next up, we have West Ham v Brighton, like we just said, losing 2-0 to Burnley. Manuel Pellegrini's not going to be too happy about that one. Brighton, of course, beating Everton. Really good result for them, especially at home. However, I think West Ham going to be fired up for this one. Going to be close, but I think it's going to be a 2-1 Hammers win.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think the scoreline in this one is going to be 2-1 as well. I think West Ham coming back to London they're smarting after that defeat away to Burnley, and I think they're going to pull out all the stops to get the 3 points in this one. And yeah, as I said, I'm going for a 2-1 victory to the Hammers over Brighton, who don't really travel that well anyway. Great at home, not so great away. Next up, we've got Wolves against Crystal Palace. Wolves having a fantastic result against Tottenham at Wembley. Palace losing narrowly against Chelsea in this fixture. I think it's going to be a tight affair. Roy's going to set them up not to lose this match against Wolves, because I think they'll know the power of Wolves have got. But they don't do, they're brilliant against top-sized Wolves, and they're doing okay-ish against teams around them and below them, although, like Cardiff beat them. I think Huddersfield even beat Wolves at Wolves earlier in the season as well. So I'm going to go for a stalemate in this one, and I'm going for a 1-1 draw.
Well, believe it or not, for this one, I think Wolves, they play really well at home and seem to grind out the fixtures at home. However, they do seem to struggle against teams who are lower than them. They seem to get all the results off the teams higher than them in the league, but yeah, difficult one. Palace getting some good results recently, especially beating Man City, but I don't know, this is tricky. I think Wolves are just going to edge it on this one, and I think it's going to be 2-1 at home.
Interesting.
Next up, we have Newcastle United against Man United. Now, Man United started to really turn things around. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has really improved the side. It pains me to say that as a Cardiff fan.
They play with a smile on their face,
yes,
people have said. So.
Pogba just fantastic at the moment. Just Solskjaer absolutely turned him around. He's playing in the correct role he's supposed to now as well, which is good, instead of in CDM where he doesn't really play well.
FIFA speak.
Yes, FIFA speak, yes. Play it too much. But Newcastle, 8-15, been picking up the odd draw here and there, but Man United just going to overpower them up north, and I think it's going to be 3-1. Yeah,
Man United full of confidence at the moment. As we said, players playing with a smile on their face. Pogba, absolute beast at the moment. Superb in midfield. Rashford playing well. I think Lukaku even scored
that's a surprise.
Today as well. And I can see this one being a straightforward 2-0 victory to the Red Devils. Newcastle, all over the place really at the moment. They could be dragged back into that relegation zone very, very soon. So at the moment, yeah, I can only see a Manchester United victory in this fixture. The final fixture of this game week is Manchester City against Liverpool on Thursday. Possibly the biggest match of the season so far. Possibly the decider. You never know. If Liverpool win this one, then I think, what would it be? It would be around about 10 points difference. And can Manchester City turn that around? Well, Liverpool haven't lost this season. In this fixture, I think Manchester City are going to be well up for it. They did score 3 goals away from home against Southampton. They'll be buoyed by that. Liverpool, full of confidence, haven't lost. However, this, I feel, is going to be Liverpool's first defeat of the season. And I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory to Manchester City in this fixture.
I have gone for 2-1, however, it's the other way round, and away win for Liverpool. I just think
it can go either way. But
yeah, it's really tough to predict this one, because any team could turn up on the day. However, just with Liverpool's form, they just and the teams that Man City have been losing to recently, I just think Liverpool are going to have all the confidence. They're going to go to the Etihad, and I think they're just going to overpower Man City 2-1.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if this was Liverpool, then maybe a Liverpool victory there, but at the Etihad, I think Man City are going to win.
Yeah.
So that concludes our predictions for week 21 of the 2018-2019 Premier League season. As per usual, I'm going to leave a template of these fixtures in the description. All you need to do is copy and paste them into your comment, and like Meacham or Mickham Morocco, you can get a shout out in the next video. But for now, Nathan, you smiling for the new year?
Yes, I'm smiling.
Yeah, we wish you all a happy 2019. Thanks for all your support throughout 2018. It's been absolutely amazing. Number of subscribers, the number of views we've had throughout the year. Fantastic support from you guys. You smiling, yeah?
Yes,
Nathan?
I'm smiling.
Yeah, he's smiling. See, guys? Okay, thanks to every one of you. And we'll see you in the new year in the next video. Cheers, guys.